Worldwide movement, peace, love, respect. Big King Sadiq hollering at you one more again. All right. Really try to make this one quick. But important as always. First of all, thank you all for checking me out yet again. I love you all. I appreciate you truly. Thank you for helping to grow the channel and continue to spread the worldwide movement. Peace, love, respect. All right. Well, please continue to grow and help us to grow. Like, share, subscribe. Please like, share, subscribe. And please go to Amazon and check out my book, Peace, Love, Respect. This is the New Way by King Sadiq. Right? Yeah, man. In any and all ways, we're going to continue trying to spread the light. And what I want to touch on in this video is a reminder to keep alive the compassion in you. And we're going to call this the importance of not judging the low vibers. All right. Right away, you know, I even have to caution myself to not say that in a way that is judgmental, right? Just labeling people low vibers, right? I do think it serves some purpose, and as long as we keep that reminder, you know, sort of in the back of our mind, that while we are labeling for the purposes of practicality, right? Otherwise, these conversations could get incredibly confusing if they're not already, right? But yeah, we got to make sure that we are using those labels with no ill intent, right? All right. But yeah, it is very important right now for a couple of reasons. First of all, that will be tested. Your ability to not judge folks who are resonating on a low vibrational frequency will be tested, because their behavior in these times, particularly in these coming days, may be extremely tested, because their behavior will do that, right? It is beautiful that we find ourselves in this space-time where we have this opportunity, right, to even broach the beautiful process of ascension. But along with that, we have to recognize all the aspects of the process. And a big aspect of the process is the sort of butting up against low vibrational frequencies. Now, for us, in practical terms, we'll say low vibers, because we will literally, in many instances, find ourselves sort of butting up against low vibrational frequency resonating people. Hence, low vibers, right? And their behavior may in many instances be agitated in a negative way, may be very illogical, right? May be very spontaneous. You may not get a big warning before a certain negative outburst, by a person group, etc. And our first initial reaction is usually one of, you know, rejection, like, hold on, get this crap out of here, right? And that's understandable. We don't want to resonate with low vibrational frequencies or energies, right? Or entities, whatever the case may be. But that energy in the form of that person, right, is needed, huh? It's needed as a catalyst to continue to push you to keep the process going. See, one tendency of people is that we often become complacent, right? Especially if we reach a certain goal or milestone, you know, we'll sort of, all right, we did it, we made it, it's over, I'm chilling. And sometimes when we do that, we do it prematurely, right? We celebrate before the end of the race in some instances because it appears to be the end. How many of you have been on the way home from work? Something as mundane as that, right? And just when you, before you even hit your street, when you get in the neighborhood, you feel like, my day's done. Well, that's sort of what we do, right? We get in the neighborhood of ascension. and oftentimes we relax, right? And when I say relax, I don't want you to be stressed or in some tenuous state, but we do need to be actively looking inward during these times, right? And when I say actively, I just mean on a daily basis, right? You don't have to walk around with like a, you know, your pen and pad, check marking yourself throughout the course of the day, or walking around with 50 crystals and a half of a makeshift altar on your back, right? It's not necessary to do all that. But we do need to be checking in with ourselves, right? Internally gauging ourselves. And the reason I say those negative energies can very much be necessary is because they actually aid us in doing that, right? You could wake up having awesome, fantastic, high vibrational frequency, ultra spiritual awakening and celebrate that with your own little personal ceremony or whatever you want to call it, right? Your own process of awakening and honoring the day and setting the day for what you want it to be, right? And then all of a sudden, after such a great start, you find yourself coming in contact with a person or situation that is sort of testing you, right? It may be something that seems like it shouldn't be, doesn't have to be, right? But it is right there for you to deal with. So, we have to remember that is an opportunity. It is. It really is an opportunity for you to refine your skills, so to speak. Because listen, folks, becoming of a higher vibrational frequency doesn't mean that going forward we will never have anything that ever is upsetting or negative or low vibrational, you know, that nothing will ever scar even slightly our pristine day. It doesn't work like that, folks. What it does mean is that we're coming in both individually and as a society into a space where we have the opportunity to gain enough spiritual maturity that no matter what comes your way, right? No matter what circumstance or situation, you have the spiritual maturity to handle it. You pause, not for long, just for a moment, an instant, right? That's all it really takes. That's the first step, is that pause. Because that pause is a reminder for you to assess. Huh? That's the importance of that pause. It's a reminder for you to assess the situation or person. Huh? Remember, often these tests come in the form of people. So you take that pause, you assess the situation, scenario, or person, and then you proceed forward with spiritual maturity. Then after you've done a proper assessment and knowing exactly what you're dealing with, then with spiritual maturity, you can move forward with compassionate action. Huh? If somebody comes into your cipher when you're vibing high, having a great day, who is bringing and spewing nothing but negativity, just an instant, pause. Assess. You don't have to ponder it for half an hour. And the higher you are vibrating actually will increase the speed or the ability for you to assess a person, situation, scenario more quickly, right? Also utilizing your navel chakra and your intuition that lies there, you often get keys about these situations, circumstances, or people that give you a heads up or a forewarning of these things. So you're always prepared to handle no matter what, as long as you take that instant, that moment, to remind yourself to assess what it is you're dealing with and then proceed forward with spiritual maturity. You have the tools as you find yourself more and more along your path of ascension or along your, whatever you want to call this process, right? Of you becoming your absolute best self, right? You have the tools more and more. It's just about using them. And so look at those individuals, those circumstances and situations, but particularly those individuals. Look at them differently. Those individuals who may be stuck in a low vibrational frequency. Number one, realize you were there to some degree, right? You may look and say, well, I never did this, or I never acted that way, or this way, or that way. In some way, shape, or form, I'll say most of us have had somewhat of a low vibrational frequency action or season in our lives, right? So don't be on the high horse, right? Low vibers, their negativity, listen, they're just people, and that's just where they're at that time. That's all. Eventually, even if it's not in this lifetime, they'll get it. They'll get it. Give them a break, right? They'll get it. And this is not always some major dramatic thing either. That's another thing. You know, it can be as simple as you're walking down the street, you speak to somebody, they don't speak back. It's their prerogative. Do what they want to do or don't do what they don't want to do, right? It could be you have some very enlightening information some very helpful and enlightening information that you'd like to share, and it looks like you have the opportunity to do so, and you go with good intention to share this information, and they slam the door in your face. That's just where they're at. They weren't ready for what you were about to bring them. So be compassionate in that understanding. And then understand that their negativity is actually, again, an opportunity, because you have the choice on how to respond, right? On whether or not you pause and get into your process of compassionate action, right? But they may be catching you at a time where you had become complacent, right? You may be frustrating yourself, wondering, well, why I feel like I'm not moving forward, with certain things that I have been working on of a spiritual nature, or, some high vibrational frequency attempt, right? Or something that you feel you should be moving forward on. You could be frustrated at your inability to manifest certain things in your life. It could be that you've gotten a little complacent in your daily process of continuing your ascension. And that person, that low vibrer as we call them, and their little bit of negativity, or a lot, depending on what you're dealing with, could be the nudge that you needed. Could be the nudge that you needed to push you forward in continuing your process of ascension. Folks, how else do we think we're going to, what is it that we think is going to challenge us if not each other, right? If not other people, situations, and scenarios. So everything has a purpose. That's the beauty of the process of the divine system. Light, dark, positive, negative, it doesn't matter. Everything has its place and purpose every single day, right? Every moment, every instant of existence is a day forward in the fruition of everyone and everything's purpose, right? So these folks are being what they are, and they're supposed to be that day, that instant, that moment for you. So continue your internal process. Don't judge them. In fact, be grateful for them. Recognize where you're at and let it actually serve as a little bit of a sleeve tug, right? To say, hey, get back to work. You're involved in an incredibly important process. There is not a thing that any of us can do now going forward that is more important than our personal ascension, because it affects every aspect of our lives, who and what we are. So any relationship that you think of, my relationship with my family as a father is more important. My relationship with my wife as a husband is more important. My relationship at my job as a supervisor or a boss is more important. Anything or any relationship or any aspect of our lives that we view could be important is all affected dramatically by this ascension process. Remember, we're attempting to be our best selves. That's not just in one particular area. That's not one aspect of our best selves. That's in every aspect of our lives. We want to function as our best selves. And often, It takes that push from the negative energy or the negative people, that little bit of a nudge from a low vibrational frequency situation or circumstance or person, right? It takes those challenges to keep us on our job, working to make sure we are in fact becoming our very best selves and not becoming complacent in our process, right? Folks, this ascension collectively, right, as our species wouldn't have matured to the point where we had this opportunity, right? Had it not been for us going through the maturation of having to deal with low vibrational frequency situations, circumstances, and or people. We have been pushing one another toward this process, right? And it's just that only some of us have gotten to the, think about school, right? Think about your senior year. You may start out senior year, you know, they make an announcement at the beginning of the year, oh, we have, you know, 175 seniors in the school. It's a fairly small school. We got 175 seniors in the school that we're hoping graduate. I guarantee you by the end of that year, it won't be 175 people walking across that stage. And that's nothing that's a knock against them or anything wrong with them. It's just they weren't ready. And it's the same thing with this ascension process, right? With this evolution process. This lifetime, there will be individuals who aren't ready. But that doesn't mean they are unimportant. That doesn't mean they are someone or something that you should judge harshly, that you should treat harshly yourself, because that will be lowering your vibrational frequency resonance. Huh? Think about that. So, look upon these situations, circumstances, and most importantly, these people with a lack of judgment, with, in fact, the opposite. Look on them with appreciation. Huh? Look on them with appreciation, because in some way they're making you better. Not only that, the compassionate action part that I brought about comes with the fact that when you handle a situation, circumstance, scenario, more importantly a person that is of a low vibrational frequency nature, when you handle them in a spiritually mature way, your high vibrational frequency resonance is aiding them in ways you can't even perceive. Your vibrational frequency being of a high resonance increases their vibrational frequency resonance. It may not increase it to where they're exactly on par with you. They may not experience the same peace, the same calm of mind as you do, but you're helping them. Somewhere along the line, as they begin to mature, something you did beneficently when dealing with them, when not judging them, will help them. Huh? It will give them an example of beneficent behavior, of a lack of judgment. Huh? And as I said, it will literally, energetically raise their vibrational frequency. Because low vibrational frequency does not draw down high vibrational frequency. It only creates a situation where the individual who has a high vibrational frequency has an opportunity. You go either higher, maintain where you're at the moment, or because of your action or lack thereof, you could lower your own vibrational frequency. But that person doesn't have the power to lower your vibrational frequency, not at all. I tell you that for a fact. Because if that was the case, Big King Sadiq would not still be currently running this incredible streak of over 3 heading into 4 years without a bad day. Because I guarantee you, I have bumped up against quite a few situations, circumstances, and scenarios, and most importantly, people who are of a low vibrational frequency resonance. And it has tested me in numerous ways, on numerous occasions, almost daily. In fact, daily. And I have learned, and I'm grateful for having learned how to deal with these things in a very high vibrational frequency way. Doesn't lower my vibrational frequency, doesn't mess up my day. And I don't walk away feeling like I hate that person, no matter what they've done. If anything, I feel compassion toward them and a desire to aid them and to help them in a beneficent way. That's beneficent, compassionate action, right? We're all capable of that. So just remember, in fact, I'm a borrow from the teacher, Brother KRS-One, a dope line from one of his jams back in the day. Judge not, ye may be judged. For the judgment ye judge, ye shall surely be judged. You gets no love. Right? Y'all remember that? I sure do. All right. So don't judge the low vibers. Love them. Huh? It'll help you and them. Don't judge the low vibers. Love them. Anytime they come at you with that negativity, with any form, and there are so many forms, with any form of low vibrational frequency energy, come back at them with love. Huh? Take that moment, that instant, pause, assess, and then formulate compassionate action. Doesn't have to be something huge or monumental. Could be something as simple as you waved at them, and instead of waving back, they flipped you the finger. I have people do that plenty of times, right? And you just say, oh, that's all right, you have a great day. Peace, love, respect, and wave at them with a smile, again, anyway, and keep it moving. Don't stand there and you know, be like spiteful. I'm going to stand here in your face and wave at you till I get on your nerves. That's not your intention. That's not the point. You just let them know that despite their low vibrational frequency action, or where they're at that moment, despite that, you have compassion, you have love in your heart for them, you understand what they're going through, and you see the Creator in them, maturing them spiritually so that one day they can ascend to the same level and higher. We will all eventually go through this enough that we pass it. There actually are no failures in this ascension process, right? It's just that everyone is not going to be ready at the exact same time. We got a huge graduation class this time around, baby. I'm assure you of that. There are millions of folks, millions upon millions of folks waking up. And that's beautiful. That's what's actually changing this planet. in a beautiful exponential quantum way, right? That's what is provided for us, an opportunity to advance spiritually in a high vibrational frequency manner, right? That's what's given us the opportunity to ascend. So, again, do not judge those folks. Know that eventually they'll make it too. Hey, now, and I don't say this part, I don't want to get too too esoteric and to freak anybody out, right? But at the same time, we need to understand that there may be another species, or likely there will be, folks. Let's put it like that. The process doesn't stop with human beings, right? The process doesn't start with this planet, or doesn't stop. It didn't start and won't stop with this planet. It'll continue on. Maybe some of those souls may need to manifest as that next species that'll have its opportunity to ascend. Huh? I know I'm getting deep with it now, but that's the truth of the process. But eventually, they will ascend, right? And right now, they're helping you to ascend. Huh? Right now, those low vibers that we have an tendency and inclination, right? That we are enticed often by the way our day unfolds to place judgment on. Those low vibers are helping you to ascend. Now, they may not be intending to, they are intending, malicious things often. But again, those are just challenges that help push you toward your ultimate goal. So don't judge them. Take that moment, pause, assess, and formulate compassionate action, because that is the part of the equation that helps you. Huh? All right. Well, thank you all once again. You know what it is, and you know what I'm fitting to say. Worldwide movement, peace, love, respect. Big King Sadiq hollering at you one more again. I'm out.